Hi there, and welcome back to Fat's Kitchen. Culture can be preserved and expressed in many different forms: art, music, language, drama, but my personal favorite is expressing it through food. And I've chosen to express my Portuguese heritage today by making Arroz Doce, which translated means sweet rice. And I'm going to be using a recipe passed down to me from my maternal grandmother, who is from Coimbra, Portugal. Now, there are many different recipes for this particular Portuguese dessert. The recipe that my grandmother gave to me is made from the following. We use 500 grams of white rice, 500 grams of white sugar that I have here, a tin of condensed milk, 2 liters of warm water in which to dissolve the condensed milk. And then what I've done here is I have some lemon peel, and I've used a vegetable peeler to peel the lemon peel and try and get a long piece like that, because it's very easy to remove towards the end of the cooking period, and get as little of the pith as possible, because the pith is bitter, so you want most of the yellow oily part of the lemon. And then I also have cinnamon sticks. We're going to be using 1 cinnamon stick, 7.5 milliliters of salt, and then right at the end of the cooking period I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter. And then what I have here is some powdered cinnamon, but that's used to decorate the arroz doce right at the end before serving. Okay, so I've diluted my condensed milk with the water. I've placed my rice in the pot along with my lemon peel and my cinnamon, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add just some of the diluted condensed milk just to cover the rice, and we're going to add the diluted condensed milk in portions as the rice cooks. And as you see the rice absorbing the diluted condensed milk, you're going to add more to the rice, and you're going to now start cooking this over a low heat. And it's very important to keep stirring the rice. So I'm going to continue now to stir and watch my rice and let it cook, adding my diluted condensed milk a little bit at a time. And only towards the end, once I've established that the rice is cooked, then I'm going to add my sugar. Now, my grandmother used to tell me that you shouldn't add the sugar before the rice is cooked. She believed that the rice wouldn't cook completely if you add the sugar in the beginning. So that only gets added towards the end, per instruction of my grandmother. And then once the rice is cooked and you add your sugar, you're going to cook it just slightly more. And what she used to believe in is that if your spoon stands up straight in your mixture, then it is ready to pour into your containers that you're going to serve your arroz doce. And right at the end, as you finish, you're going to add your butter. But we'll come back later as I'm busy. Okay, so my rice is busy cooking. You can kind of have a look. It's absorbed quite a bit of the initial milk that I've added, the diluted condensed milk. You can see it's bubbling slowly. I'm getting wonderful aromas from the pot because of the lemon peel, and you'll see it'll be easy to remove at the end of the cooking process, and my cinnamon stick. So because it's thickened to quite an extent already, and the rice has absorbed quite a large amount of the milk that I previously added, I'm going to add a little bit more of my condensed milk, diluted condensed milk, to my pot, and I'm going to continue the cooking process on a low heat, stirring it continuously and watching it. Now, because this is such a long process, you want to pour yourself a glass of wine and sip away at it slowly while you watch the rice cooking. In order to determine if my rice is cooked, I'm just going to take a spoon and sample my rice pudding. It's good. So I'm going to remove my lemon peel at this stage. My cinnamon stick is still somewhere in there, but I'm sure I'll be able to find it at some stage. I'm going to add the last bit of diluted condensed milk. And then I'm going to add my sugar. And we're going to let it cook a little while longer. Oh, there we go. I found my cinnamon stick. I'll remove it in a minute. You can see the texture's changed quite significantly since I've added my sugar, the color, the texture. And we're going to leave this. Remember, the goal is to let it cook until your stick stands straight up, which it's not doing at this point in time. It's almost had a little bit too much wine itself. Right, so you can come back when this is looking a little bit. Now I'm going to show you how my wooden spoon stands for quite a few seconds all on its own when I let it go. And that's an indication that it is now ready. So at this stage, you add your butter and you stir it through. And see, that's nice and thick, and the butter is going to make it really glossy. Now I'm going to take it off the plate, and you can see I have here an assortment of sauces. My grandmother always used to pour the rice pudding into sauces, beautiful sauces. Part of the pleasure of eating my grandmother's Arroz Doce was revealing the beautiful patterns of the sauce underneath as you ate your rice. And then she always used to decorate it very beautifully with a powdered cinnamon. And she was quite good at that, and I've never been able to master it, but I'm going to give it a good try. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon some in here. You've got to shake it around a bit. You can use small sauces, big sauces, you know. So some sauces will give you quite a good helping of your Arroz Doce. Let me just remove that little blob out of there. If you'd rather, you can pour some of your rice pudding into a little ramekin like this as well, or any other pudding bowl. But I'm going to continue pouring my rice pudding into my sauces, and when I see you again, I'll show you how we decorate. So I'm almost done decorating my Arroz Doce. This is of course not a necessary step. I'm just trying to follow the tradition. My grandmother seemed to have quite a flair for decorating the Arroz Doce. You do this with cinnamon, pinching it between your fingers. You can see I've started this one already. But I'm not having a lot of success. I'm not that good at it. So what I've also attempted to do is, if you can see here, I've used a stencil. These are stencils you can get for cakes. I'm busy doing this stencil here over here. And I'm almost done. And then of course once you remove the stencil, then you will have a pretty little pattern in cinnamon. Of course this dessert is best served with cinnamon. That's why we sprinkle it with cinnamon. There you go. There's an example of what it looks like. Right, I hope you have found this tutorial informative. If you don't already have a traditional Arroz Doce recipe in your family, you're welcome to use my grandmother's recipe. I hope you enjoyed this, and please leave a comment or post a question underneath the comment section.